Hey, so if you're watching this, it's very likely that you are looking for a more natural approach to wellness. So I'm just going to jump right in. For those of you who don't know my name, I'm Chelsea, and I am totally passionate about empowering and informing people about how to live their life above the wellness line and not settle for being sick and tired all the time, because nobody has time for that. So I'm going to ask you a series of rhetorical questions to begin. So would it be okay if I gave my kids a teeny tiny bit of antifreeze every day? Do you know I used to? You might be doing that right now and you don't even know it. What if I let them drink just a smidge of neurotoxin, which is something that's toxic to their brain, every day? My kids did 4 years ago, okay? What if I let them smoke a cigarette just one time a day? Just one time a day. Or better yet, what if I smoked a cigarette with them in the car? Secondhand smoke. Just one time a day. Every day. Sometimes my kids had to. Multiple times a day. Yeah. Would it be okay if I let my kids apply Roundup on their hands to sanitize their hands after they got done using the bathroom? We used to do that every day. What about petroleum, which is gasoline, if you don't know that already? What if I let them put that all over their skin when their skin was dry? I did every single time they got out of the bathtub. Would you let your kids do that? Absolutely, you would not. You would not. So I'm going to tell you those things I just asked you. I'm going to tell you where those ingredients are found, and it's going to shock you. But I don't want you to become defeated or feel angry when you hear this information, because when you do, you'll feel defeated. I don't want you to feel defeated. I want you to feel empowered, because these are facts. And by knowing these facts, you can do better, because you're only doing the best you can with what you know. So I really want you to keep that in mind as you learn these things, that you can only do the best you can with what you know. So the more you know, the better you can do. Know better, do better. That's my favorite phrase, all right? So antifreeze is in almost every toothpaste. A neurotoxin, which is that thing that's toxic to your brain, is found in any food or toothpaste or any product that has colorants or food dyes in it, okay? Lighting a candle, just 1 hour a day, is the exact same thing as smoking a cigarette in the car with your children. It's just as harmful to their body. Triclosan, okay, is in anything that is marked antibacterial. It was originally created as a pesticide, so that Roundup thing I told you about, triclosan was originally created to be a pesticide because it continues to kill germs for more than 12 hours after it's applied. Petroleum is a derivative of gasoline. You would not do any of this to your kids, but you are, and you don't even know it. You don't even know it because it's hidden on those ingredients labels, and we're in this mindset where we think that, oh, it's just a little bit. It's okay. So I'm going to explain to you something. When you put just a little bit of antifreeze on every single day, multiple times a day, what do you think that little bit becomes? It becomes a lot of it, right? It becomes a lot. And when that little bit becomes a lot, what do you think that does to your body? We're going to talk about it. So in the Toxic Substance Control Act of 1976 says this: a little bit at a time, so it's fine, right? Kind of what we just talked about. Have you heard the term body burden? This is a term that is used when your body has a buildup of all those chemicals, kind of the things that we were just talking about, has this buildup of all these chemicals that's causing your body not to function the way it's intended. It's referred to as a body burden. A body burden can show up in things like autoimmune diseases, asthma, ADHD, constant fatigue, anxiety, depression, allergies, hormone disruptions like acne, mood swings, cancer. This list can go on, but I think you kind of get the idea of what a body burden is, okay? We accept these things and we think they're normal because everyone's struggling with it. Let's do better. So what do we do about it? Now, I'm not a scientist, okay? I'm just a mom who's empowered myself, and I've done my research. I empowered myself with knowledge and tools, all right? So I could know better, and I could do better for my kids, and I could train them and raise them to where they weren't learning what I'm learning right now. Because I'm 29 years old right now. It's February 2020, and I'm 29 years old right now. And 4 years ago, I just started to really learn this stuff. I started to learn all these healthy hacks and these healthy things and what these ingredients were doing to my body. So this is a generation changer. Me knowing this stuff right now and training and raising and educating my children this way from the time they're babies, it's changing the generation of tomorrow, because they're not going to have to learn this stuff when they're adults. They're going to know this stuff, and it's going to be the only thing that they know. It's not going to be foreign to them, and they're not going to have to go through the struggle of retraining their brain. So, are you ready for symptoms of body burden to leave your home? Are you ready for a great sex life? Are you ready for happy emotions, happy kids, where you're not freaking out? Are you ready for beautiful, clear skin? Are you ready for freedom? Freedom, okay, from constant exhaustion, constant fatigue, that anxiety and that depression that you may have been taking a medication for that's just putting a Band-Aid over the problem and it's really not fixing anything. Are you ready for those things to leave? You don't need poisons to live, right? We don't need poison to live. That's just silly. So just because it's sold in the store doesn't mean it's safe. And when we stop buying these products, they're naturally going to stop making them, because you know why they're making these products? Because they're making a profit. So if we stop buying them, they're going to naturally stop making these things, because it's the consumer's choice. So know better, do better, guys. So statistics show that in the next 5 years, 100% of Americans will be looking for a natural alternative. So that tells me that what we're doing, all this educating, all this research, all this informing, it's working. People are listening. They're starting to listen. They're starting to understand that we don't want these poisons in our life. We don't want these poisons in our body, and we want change. We're ready for transformation. So how do we stop this madness? Where do we find products that are safe for our family? Okay, that was where I was. So when I learned all these things that I just shared with you, I was like, okay, so what do I do with this? Where do I get shampoo? Where do I get laundry detergent? Where do I get all these things that are safe for my family? Where do I get hand soap that doesn't have triclosan in it? Where do I get lotion that doesn't have petroleum in it? Where do I get all of these products that I need to use for my family that are safe for my family? I get all mine from Young Living. But I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what essential oils are. And that I'm going to show you that Young Living is not just essential oils, okay? Because that's what a lot of people think. A lot of people think it's just a hocus pocus plant juice kind of thing. And there's a big difference in all of this. So we're going to talk about that and get into that. So what are essential oils? Essential oils are the lifeblood of the plant. They're the most powerful part of the plant. They are the tiniest molecules, like the tiniest little molecule. So they reach every single cell in your entire body in 22 minutes, no matter where you put them. If you put a drop on your forehead or you put a drop on your big toe, it is going to reach and permeate every single cell in your entire body in 22 minutes. Isn't that beautiful? When you just inhale an oil, it reaches your limbic system, the part of your brain that controls your sex drive and your emotions and your appetite and your blood pressure, just from smelling it. Just smelling it. So they're rich in oxygen. These essential oils are. They're super rich in oxygen. So if you know anything about oxygen in the body, we know we can't live without it, but it even goes deeper than that. Our body that is super rich in oxygen, it can't be burdened with cancer. It can't be burdened with colds and flus and diseases, because those kinds of germs and bacteria and things that cause those things, they can't live in an oxygen-rich environment. So when we're using a product like an essential oil that is the most oxygenating molecule in the entire world, our body's going to thrive naturally. And so essential oils are distilled from shrubs, flowers, trees, roots, bushes, fruits, rinds, resins, herbs, all kinds of stuff. They consist of over 100 natural organic compounds. They support every single system of your entire body, from your skeletal system, your muscular system, your circulatory system, endocrine system, respiratory system, immune system, hormones, brain health, healthy weight, emotions, spiritual health, and support stress. Guys, they do everything. They support every single system of our bodies. You can apply oils quite a few different ways. You can apply them topically, which is something that is practiced by the English. You can apply them the French, which we ingest them. We use them all the ways, which is the method that we use. And then you can apply them the Germans. Well, the Germans just inhale them and diffuse them, which can actually be the most effective method because it doesn't have to pass through the digestive system, but that's a whole nother class. But another thing, you don't need to be an aromatherapist to use oils. So many people think that. So many people think, like, I don't know how to use that. I don't know what to do with it. And it's because that retraining the brain thing I was telling you about, we make things really complicated because we think we need a doctor to be like, oh, you need to take this oil this many times a day at this time, because that's the way our brains work. We are like we are like functioning like we need to be told what to do, like little sheep. Okay, we need to really learn to think for ourselves. These oils are super intelligent. They know what to do in our body. It doesn't matter where we put them. It doesn't matter how we put them on, whether we smell them through a diffuser, we smell them from the bottle, we put them on topically, we put a drop under our tongue. It doesn't matter. These oils are super, super intelligent, and they are made to work synergistically with our bodies. So tests have shown oils to reach the heart, the liver, and the thyroid in 3 seconds when they're inhaled. Do you realize 3 seconds? 3 seconds only. I just inhale an oil and it reaches every cell in my body. It is talking to my heart. It's talking to my liver. It's talking to my thyroid in just 3 seconds when I smelled it. Just smelled it. So when people walk into your house and you have your diffuser going, guess what? You're affecting them. You're helping them just by diffusing an oil and having someone walk in your home. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I love that. I love that. So they were found in the bloodstream in 26 seconds when applied topically. And oils last in a healthy body about 3 to 6 hours, just depending on the body and just depending on the person, because oils work differently in all of us. None of us have the same genetic makeup. So oils do all work differently in different people. So lavender might help someone sleep and rutabaga might help someone sleep. It really just doesn't, you just don't know until you get those oils and you put them on and you're like, yes, this is my jam. Like, you just don't know. So essential oils are not a new thing. Some people think oils are like this new thing and they're like a new agey generation thing. No, oils have been around since the beginning of time. The very beginning of time. Like, God made them. They're plants. Like, I believe in the whole 6 days of creation. God rested on the seventh day. Whether you believe that or not is completely fine. I love you anyways. But God put Adam and Eve in a garden, and he didn't put them in a house. He didn't put them in a lab. He didn't put them around all these chemicals. He put them in a garden surrounded by plants. So oils were first mentioned in the Bible in Genesis chapter 37 when the slave traders took Joseph. They carried spices and balm and myrrh. Joseph's father was anointed with myrrh for the burial in Genesis. Jesus was given frankincense, myrrh, and gold when he was born. Like, if it's good enough for baby Jesus, it's good enough for me. Oils are mentioned 1,100 times directly or indirectly in the Bible. Some of the oldest cultures used essential oils. It was only after World War II that essential oils were rediscovered. Do you hear what I said? Rediscovered. This was not a discovery. This was rediscovered. And the science on their uses continues to grow every single year. So oils are not a new age thing at all. They have been around since the beginning of time, like longer than us, longer than humans. They were here before humans. Okay, oils have been around forever. There are lots of different grades of essential oils, okay? There's 4 different grades, not lots, but there's 4 different grades of essential oils. You have grade A, B, C, and D. Your grade A oils are your therapeutic grade. These are the oils that aren't just going to smell good, all right, and make you feel fantastic. These are the oils that are going to support every system of your body. These oils that we've been talking about, these are the oils that are therapeutic. They're organically grown, organically distilled at low temperatures, and this process is very, very beautiful, and it's different for each plant. So there's a lot of testing that goes into this. Then you have your grade B, which is like your food grade oils, and these can contain synthetics, pesticides, fertilizers, chemical extenders, and carrier oils. And you have your grade C, which is the perfume grade oils. Your perfume grade oils Ugh, y'all, they have so many horrible adulterating chemicals in them. They're solvents to gain higher yield so that they can make more money. Those solvents can be cancerous. They are sold in stores. Do not buy store-bought oils, y'all. Like, you're wasting your money and just throwing it down the drain. The whole reason that you want to use essential oils is because you want a more natural way. So why are you choosing oils that are still full of all those chemicals that are weighing really heavy on your body and that are a body burden for you? Like, don't do that. Then you have your grade D oils, and these are your floral water oils. These are like aromatic only, and they're usually a byproduct of the grade A distillation. So what this means is after the oil is pulled out, the leftover floral water is sold to other companies, and then they will turn and they'll fill up 5% of a bottle with this floral water, and then they'll top the rest of it off with the carrier oil, and they'll label it pure. Yeah, you're paying for that. You're paying for that. It's really good to know your research and kind of know where your oils come from. The only kind of oils I use are grade A, therapeutic grade, and I also understand how to read my labels. So you've heard the saying, you get what you pay for. This has never been more true than it is with essential oils. In the United States, essential oils fall under what's called the Cosmetic Act, which means that there isn't a great deal of regulation on them. So there can be as little as 5% or less of the actual plant juice in the bottle, and the rest of that bottle can be things like alcohol, petroleum, or other toxic ingredients and fillers. This is why the seed to seal process from Young Living is so, so important, and it has my heart. Oh, the seed to seal process so has my heart. If you ever have a chance to go to these farms and just touch the soil and run your hand to the soil, I've never felt soil that was richer. It was almost like you could feel the energy in this soil. It was so beautiful, and I know that sounds kooky to some of you because it sounded super kooky to me when I was told something similar, and I would hear these people talk about it before I went to the farms, and like seriously, it's real. Like, it's really real, and it's beautiful. But so you are interested in using oils because you want to make a better choice, like we've been talking about. So don't use things that are not real, that are not pure, that are not good for your body and actually doing what they say they're going to do. If you go buy lavender at Walmart or the gas station or Target or Kohl's, I promise you it's not going to do anything good for your body. It's not going to do anything good, and you better not ingest that stuff. It says it on the bottle, but you better not ingest that stuff because it will hurt you. It does not feel good. We see oils everywhere. So it is so important that we are informed. So what is seed to seal? Seed to seal means that we are in charge, Young Living, okay, is in charge of every part of this process. They choose the seed that they get to plant. That means it's not genetically modified. No genetically modified seeds. It's so, so, so important. All the plants are hand weeded. Did you hear me? Hand weeded. Y'all know how long it takes to pull weeds. They're hand weeded. There's no pesticides, no chemicals, no weed killers. They're harvested at their peak time when that oil is the best yield and it's going to give us the most benefits. There is vigorous testing done for these. Every single bottle of essential oil, it goes straight from the farm right to us. Young Living's hands are in all of this process. It is not just a slogan, it is a promise from Young Living. Young Living also uses for like a pesticide, okay? They use the raw materials from the distillation of the plant, like what we would consider the trash. They use that and they spread that to keep out pests, okay? There are oils and there are plants that, bugs and pests and stuff don't like. So they know that, and they take those plants and they sprinkle that plant matter all over the dirt and the ground in this, and it's a natural pesticide. So not only do they hand weed, but there's literally, when I say there's no pesticides and chemicals, and you're sitting here like, that was what somebody told me a long time ago when I first started this. They were like, there's no way they can hand pick all those farm fields. That would just take too much manpower and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but they do that, plus they do this other way of using the plants as the pesticides. So I just thought that was super, super cool. So why do other companies sell oils that are not grade A, therapeutic grade? Why do all these companies not do the seed to seal process? Well, here's why. You have to understand that Young Living is the longest living essential oil company on the planet. We've been around for 25 plus years, and we're still going strong. We're stronger now than ever before, and this company's amazing. This company's taken a really long time to get where it's at, though. They didn't just come off the ground running and have all this farmland. That takes time, that takes money, and that takes patience. That means we have to be diligent. That means we have to buy a piece of farmland and plant some plants on it, buy another piece of farmland. It takes time. It's a process. So the other companies haven't quite had the time or the money to do that, and they are impatient and they want to do it right now. They want the same kind of yield and the profit and the same kind of business market that Young Living has, and no, can't do it. You can't do it because you can't do it that fast. If Gary could have done it that fast, Young Living would be a whole lot further along by now, but it takes time to build an empire like this and make it real and raw and get that seed to seal effect. So companies do this to save money. If you spray a crop with pesticide, you're naturally going to have more yield from the crop to distill. If you use a chemical solvent to extract the oil, you're going to be able to extract oil and you're going to be able to pull more out, and you're going to be able to pull more out faster from that plant, but it still has that chemical solvent in it, so it's horrible. And they just completely adulterated and ruined an entire batch of beautiful plant juice. If you distill it with a cheaper oil or a cheaper carrier oil, you will stretch the oil that you have already distilled and make it, go a lot further. So they do this for money. Most essential oils are sold cheaply because companies cut corners like this, okay? So how are oils made? So here's an example. Here's a few examples that are just like some of my favorite touch my heart examples. It takes a great deal of work to produce just a tiny amount of essential oil. 60,000, did you hear me? 60,000 rose blossoms are used to produce just 1 ounce of rose oil. Rose oil is so precious, so precious. And when you see the price tag of it, you're like, oh my goodness gracious, I could not do that. I would not do that. Oh, yes, you would if you knew the benefits. But it takes 60,000 rose blossoms for just 1 ounce of rose. Lavender is super abundant. Lavender actually produces a big yield. There's 220 pounds will provide 7 pounds of oil. So that's quite a bit. Jasmine, it takes 8 million. Did you hear that? 8 million hand-picked blossoms to produce only 2.2 pounds of jasmine oil. Sandalwood trees need to be 30 years old and 30 feet tall, and they also have to be 90% dead. Did you hear that? 30 years old, 30 feet tall, and 90% dead before they are at their maximum yield, where they are going to give you the best benefits that sandalwood can give. All the benefits and chemical constituents and all those things that make sandalwood such a powerful oil. That's what has to happen in order for Young Living to harvest them, because that's when sandalwood is the most beneficial to us. How would someone know that? Some people don't know that just like this, right? They have to have access to these trees. They have to study this. They have to research this. All these things take time. And Gary's taken that time. He took that time. He put in the hours and the dedication. He tasted the soil. Like, if you read Gary's Seed to Seal book, that Mary, his wife, wrote about him, and it's his life, and it will bring you to literal tears multiple times as you are reading it, because the foundation to this company is hard work and blood and sweat and tears and lots of faith. Lots of faith, because he punched fear in the face over and over and over again and said, no, I'm not going to quit. He failed forward. He failed and he tried again, and he failed and he tried again, because he saw this vision. He saw that it was going to save and change thousands of lives, and he didn't stop and he didn't give up. So, are essential oils safe? There's so much crap on the internet when you start researching the safety of essential oils, and there is just so much crap you are going to get into and you're going to read about. The most important thing I can tell you is know your sources. Know where your information is coming from, and if it's, can I believe it or can I not believe it? And know where your information is coming from. Essential oils can be extremely dangerous. You know those different grades of essential oils we talked about, like grade B, grade C, grade T? Think about those chemical fillers, that petroleum that can be used in it, all those things. When you diffuse that, and you diffuse something like that with petroleum around your animals or around your babies, or you put, something on your baby's skin that's petroleum or, antifreeze, or those chemical solvents are horrible. So essential oils, when the wrong kind of oil that was not distilled and processed the right way is used, of course it's going to have negative adverse side effects for you, for your children, and for your pets. Absolutely it is. It's not going to have those same benefits. But essential oils that are real, that are pure, there's only one thing you can do wrong with them. And I mean it. One thing. You ready for it? Not use them. That's it. You cannot do it wrong. You can't do it wrong. So certain oils are photosensitive, okay? So if I put lemon on my skin, because lemon is awesome for helping clear up skin and blackheads and that grossness, okay? So if I put lemon on my face and I want to go outside and lay out in the sun, guess what? That's a really bad idea because lemon is photosensitive. There are oils that are photosensitive. So when you use those oils, it's better to ingest them, to put them on in a place that's not, exposed to the sun, or to put them on at nighttime before you go to bed instead of during the day when you're going to be out in the sun. So that's a safety tip. Another safety tip are, when you're using oils on your skin, there are some oils that are hotter, okay? Like Thieves that comes in your starter kit can be really hot. Peppermint can even seem really hot because it's such a cooling sensation on little ones. Just put it, do a spot test. Spot tests are one of my favorite things to tell people to do and see how it feels on you before you put it on your kids. Bottoms of the feet is also another really great place to start because the soles of your feet are super, super thick and you can just put it on the bottoms of the feet. You don't need to dilute it or anything, okay? Nothing at all. Just put it on the bottoms of the feet. The bottoms of the feet are also a really great place to put it because the feet work like what I would consider like a time release capsule. Like when you take a supplement and you're taking that supplement and over the course of 6 hours it's supposed to work. So essential oils, when they're put on the bottoms of your feet, they won't permeate in the body so quickly. So they actually work like a time release capsule for 6 to 8 hours in the body when you put them on the bottoms of your feet. So it's also really cool. When you have babies, the best place to start with oils is on the bottoms of the feet always. If you're unsure or just about anything, that's a great place to start with is the bottoms of the feet. Other thing, if anything ever gets in your eyes or it ever burns your skin or it's ever uncomfortable, do not add water. Adding water and oil don't mix. It's one of like the worst things that you can do is adding water. So instead of adding water, you're actually going to get a carrier oil. A carrier oil can be anything from avocado oil, grapeseed oil, raspberry seed oil, coconut oil. Coconut oil is the most commonly one I personally use. And just rub it on the area that it's hurting and it will go away almost instantly, even in the eyes. Like almost instantly. My kids are 4 and 6 currently right now, and they both already know to do this if they use oils because they literally go to the oils and they use them and they put them on all the time, like without even saying anything to me. So they know safety tips with oils. Do oils ever, can you ingest them? Yes, you can absolutely ingest Young Living oils. I said Young Living because Young Livings are the only essential oils that are legally on the planet labeled for consumption. They have an entire line of what it's called Vitality oils, and that is like lavender Vitality. Now, if you see a bottle of lavender Vitality and a bottle of lavender, those oils were distilled the same way. Everything from the whole process was exactly the same, but they did put a label on there so that we knew, okay, hey, this is safe for consumption, okay? And that is generally regarded as safe. That is from the FDA. So if you are like, I would never ingest oils, I would never do that, you can walk outside and you can pick a leaf of peppermint off of a plant and you can eat it, right? You can do the same thing with oregano, right? It's not going to kill you. So you can eat essential oils as long as they're pure and they're not adulterated and they don't have all of those chemical solvents and stuff in them. When they're real, pure, therapeutic grade essential oils from Young Living, you can safely eat them and ingest them and not worry about it at all. I have some in my water right here, right now. There is lemon and peppermint both in my water almost 99% of the time. So, yeah. So, I told you what a carrier oil was and some examples of what a carrier oil can be. Coconut oil is the most common one. Now, a carrier oil is not going to reduce the effect of, say, lavender, okay? If you're using lavender to sleep and you put carrier oil with that lavender, it is not going to reduce the effect of what lavender is going to have in your body. It doesn't dilute it, okay? All it does is it slows the absorption rate of the essential oil down into your bloodstream. So that's going to not only stop the burning, but it's also going to make the oil last longer within your body when you use an oil with a carrier oil and not just by itself neat, which is called neat. But when you use a carrier oil with it, it will last longer in the body and it's super simple. It also makes sure, it's really nice on the wallet because you can make roller bottles and rubs and do all kinds of different things, which don't worry, I'll teach you. All those things, but you can make those things, and when you do, it will make your oils last a lot longer. But it just slows the absorption rate down into your body and into your bloodstream, because when you have an essential oil, like I said, those molecules are super tiny, so they're reaching your bloodstream really fast. And when you put a carrier oil with it, a carrier oil has larger molecules, so those don't reach your bloodstream quite as quickly, so they take longer to permeate through the body. All right, so think about it. Ready to think about it? You got your thinking cap on? Because you might want it. All right, so look at the ingredients list of things under your cabinet. I really want to challenge you to go to 3 different cupboards in your house. And I challenge you to do your kitchen cupboard or wherever you keep your cleaning stuff. Challenge you to do your laundry cabinet. I challenge you to do your bathroom cabinet. Okay, those are the 3 cabinets I challenge you to. And I want you to start flipping over the labels on your bottles, okay? And I want you to look at them. I want you to look at the ingredients. And I want you to type in, when you see an ingredient, I want you to type in Google, just Google search it. Dangers of triclosan, dangers of petroleum, dangers of whatever ingredient it is. Yes, honey?
Can you do that now, please?
Can I do that in here in just a minute when Mommy's done with my class?
No, pretend,
Hey, I need to finish my class, okay? And I will play with you, I promise. Okay?
I want to sit with you.
Okay. This is Lennox. This is my daughter, for those of you who do not know her.
Show her this.
You want to show that? Okay. Keep it down, though, okay? I need you to be quiet. Love you. Oh, I just got lipstick on your cheek. Okay, so if you look at the ingredients, I want you to flip those over and just type in Google dangers of whatever those products are. You can also get an app called the Think Dirty app. The Think Dirty app is a free app on your phone where, well, actually you can put in the product and it will tell you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being the best, or 0, how toxic a product is, and if it's harmful for you. Most of your products, you are going to be very alarmed at the fact that they are a 9 or a 10, and it will make you want to cry. And just get those out of your house. You get them out of your house and start ditching and switching, because there is a way to ditch and switch all of those things, and you will actually save money if you listen to me, because I know all those savvy hacks. I've learned them over the years of how to be healthy and frugal at the same time, because I don't care how much money we make, it's important that we're healthy and frugal. All right, so the average woman applies about 300 chemicals to her body each day, and 80 of those chemicals are applied before breakfast time. When you really think about that and you put that into perspective, it is scary that we are applying that many chemicals daily to our bodies. Young Living has just 1 ingredient on the backs of their things. If it's lemon, it's going to say lemon. If it's oregano, it's going to say oregano. If it's tangerine, it's going to say just tangerine. That means there's no additives and there's no yuck whatsoever. So before a company puts a product out on the market, they have to do some sort of test, okay? Testing has to happen with those ingredients, right? The ingredients that you're looking at on the backs of these bottles when you're doing your cupboard check. And they test these ingredients on animals, which, let's not do that. That's not cool, all right? So besides the fact that they're testing these ingredients on animals, here's what they do. If less than 50% of those animals die that they put that product on, okay, they put the product on the shelf, and guess what? There's not even a warning label. If less than 50% of the animals die, they put it on the shelf with no warning label. Now, if more than 50% of the animals die, they consider it poisonous if ingested. And they'll put that on the back of it, okay, in like a little red, like little triangular kind of thing, poisonous if ingested, right? And then when they do that, that's if over 50% of the animals die. So there's a little warning label on the back, but they still put it on the shelf, even though more than 50% of the animals died. Think about that. Like, that's sick. That is really sick. And so, what, honey? I love you too. All right. So statistics also show that in the 1980s, there was 12.8% of children, with chronic illnesses. Listen, you cannot, okay? I need you to be a good girl. So in the 1980s, there was 12.8% of children with chronic illnesses. Do you know how many there are today with chronic illnesses? Are you ready? Because this blew my mind. 54% of our children in America today are born with chronic illnesses. We went from 1980 to 2020 from 12.8% to 54% of our children having chronic illnesses. Do you think that's coincidence? No. You've seen her? No, it's not coincidence. So in 2017, there were 2,607,413 calls made to poison control. 75% of those calls were about children under the age of 6, and the number one cause of the call needing to be made was from household cleaners. I don't know about you, but I have little ones in my house, and I plan on having grandkids someday. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't want to have to worry about those things. There are enough things we all need to worry about. I don't need to worry about my kids or my babies or anybody's babies getting sick and being poisoned by a cleaner I'm using to clean my house with. That's sick. I don't need to worry about those things. So some other facts that will shock you. The number 2 cause of death in the United States is cancer. We know that. 1,620 people die from cancer every single day. 1 in 3 cases are directly linked to diet, physical inactivity, weight, or chemical exposure. So that means that the American Cancer Society says that only 5 to 10% of all cancer cases are actually from gene defects. That means the other 90 to 95% are things that we are doing to cause it, right? Things that we can avoid, that we're exposing ourselves to every single day. So the National Institute of Occupational Health and Safety Study says that there are 2,983 ingredients in our products today that we are using in our home. There's no need for that much, that long of an ingredients list, just none. And of these ingredients, 884 of them are toxic. That's 1 in 3. Of those 884 that were toxic, 314 of them were proven to cause biological mutations. So if you're using these products when you're pregnant, some serious damage can be done to that baby that you are growing inside of you. Okay?
Mommy.
Yes.
Tell her my name.
Okay, this is Lennox. Lennox wanted me to tell you her name, so this is Lennox. The pollution in newborns is absolutely insane. Of the 400 chemicals that were tested, 287 were found in umbilical cord blood. Of these, 180 caused cancer in humans or animals. 217 are toxic to the brain or the nervous system, and 208 cause birth defects or abnormal development in animals. 884 ingredients that we mentioned a moment ago, 218 of them cause fertility issues. So if you have friends or loved ones that are struggling to create a baby, this could be a really big help for them. Okay? I have a lot of friends who suffer from this, and it's not easy. It's not easy on their marriage. It's not easy on their heart. It's not easy on their emotions. And that question of, when are you going to have a baby? When are you guys going to have a baby? It's one of the worst questions you can ask a lot of people, because so many women are struggling with this today. So 146 they know cause cancer tumors, and they are still allowed in the United States, even though they have been banned in other countries. 778 of these 884 ingredients have been proven to be toxic to the human body. 26 seconds after the exposure to these chemicals, they were found in measurable amounts in the human body. There are still not safety standards established for non-industrial buildings. So OSHA does regulate the carcinogenic VOC of formaldehyde in buildings to a permissible level of 0.75 parts per million. But the average home, do you want to know what the average home measures? 50 parts per billion, okay? So when you go into a factory, someone who OSHA tests, they make sure that the carcinogenic formaldehyde is only 0.75 parts per million. The average home measures 50 parts per billion. The common furniture polish reads 275 parts per billion after exposure. While surface wipes that are requested at your school, those Lysol wipes and Clorox wipes that are requested on every single school list to kill those germs for our babies for them to wipe off their desks every day, guess how much that reads? Are you ready for it? 1,798 parts per billion after use. Do you realize how we just went from 0.75 parts per million to 1,798 parts per billion? The most unsafe job a woman can have as a stay-at-home mom, because your home is more toxic than the outside world because of the things that we're using. Think about that. That is sad. It is so sad. All right, here's the most shocking of all of them when it comes to formaldehyde, okay? The VOC measure of a common surface spray that advertises to kill 99.9% of all germs. I'm not going to say the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. It measures 12,000 parts per million. And we wonder why the quality of air inside of our home is 5 to 7 times more toxic than the quality of air outside. I don't wonder anymore. I know why. And I fixed that. And I'm going to help you fix it too. So, some of the things, many of the ingredients that we just talked about, they've been banned in other countries. We talked about that, but they're still allowed in the United States. I'm going to give you the top 10 products that are in your home right now that are killing you. Okay, top 10. Your air fresheners, your plug-ins, your candles. Gotta go. Okay, your beauty supplies and your makeup, your deodorant, your personal care products like your hairspray and your shampoo. Okay, deodorant, 90% of the store-bought deodorant, okay, is found, the aluminum is found in it. 90% of store-bought deodorant, aluminum is found in it. Aluminum has been found in 100% of the autopsy reports of each patient for breast cancer showed high levels of aluminum. They have directly linked aluminum toxicity to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, and chemical cleaning supplies like oven cleaner, furniture polish, and dish soap. Yeah, gross. So gross. All right, so aluminum's real bad. We are putting aluminum on our lymph nodes 365 days a year, guys. And our lymph nodes right here, yeah, breast cancer, no, don't want that, okay? I don't want breast cancer. All right, laundry soap, your laundry soap and your fabric softener and your dryer sheets gotta go. They gotta go. Dryer sheets, your laundry is so toxic, okay? You are putting that on your skin and wearing it. You're smelling it. You're smelling it when it's in your vent system. Oh, guys, laundry is so gross and it's disgusting. Not just to do either. It's just really gross. All right, so those are your top 10 products. Now I'm going to give you your top 10 chemical ingredients to watch for. Now there can be multiple different names for some of these ingredients, so you got to watch out for that too. That's why doing your research is super important. So top 10 ingredients to watch out for are phthalates, aluminum, DEA and TEA, propylene glycol, sodium lauryl sulfate, talc, parabens, fragrance, triclosan, formaldehyde. Okay, so here's something about fragrance that I didn't know, because fragrance is in just about everything that we use. According to the FPLA, which is the Fair Packaging and Labeling Act, regulations for the list of ingredients that were used to force a company to disclose what are called trade secrets. So that means fragrance and flavor ingredients do not need to be listed individually on cosmetic labels because they are the ingredients that are considered to be trade secrets. So instead, they may be listed simply as fragrance or flavor, and we have no idea what ingredients were used to make that fragrance or that flavor. That's scary. I want to know what I'm putting on my body, and I think you do too. So again, get that free app called the Think Dirty app. You control what goes in your home. You do, okay? You control what goes through the front door of your house. You're the gatekeeper. We can't control everything. We can't. We are not going to live in a bubble. I love life. I love people. We cannot control all exposure to chemicals and all of these things that we're exposed to all the time. We can't protect our babies and ourselves from everything, but there is so much that we do have control over. Be proactive. Educate yourself. Inform yourself. Be informed so you can make decisions for your family, because you're the gatekeeper of your home. You decide what you use to clean your house. You decide the lotion you use on your baby, the shampoo, the deodorant, the makeup, the things you use to make your house smell good. You choose that. You are the gatekeeper of your home, and you decide what comes in the door. So decide by using some knowledge, being empowered and informed with the tools, so you can make better decisions for your family, and you can control what is in your control, because it's going to be the best decision that you ever make for your entire family, hands down. I am going to stop here because there are a lot of things that I want to tell you. I want to share with you how you can become a member with Young Living. There's 5 different options. You can start with the oils, which is the best way. You can start with the cleaner, which is my second best way, okay? The Ningxia Red, which is a antioxidant powerhouse. You can start with the makeup or you can start with the CBD. Those are just the 5 kits. Becoming a member of Young Living, a few things you definitely need to know, okay? Definitely, without a doubt, the best company, hands down, on the planet. There are no strings attached to becoming a member. You never, ever, ever, ever have to ever sell a thing. You do not have to place monthly orders, although you can. You do not have to share this with anybody, although it would be really, really, really selfish not to. You have access to over 700 products and a lifetime membership without never placing another order in your entire life. So it's wonderful. You get me, okay? I'm like your own personal oily guru along this entire journey, and I'm gonna link arms with you. I am here for you. We have an entire tribe of empowered women, empowered men, empowered families who are gonna link arms with you, and we are gonna help you make better decisions for your family. We're going to help you be empowered and informed, and we're going to help you do your research and steer you in the right direction. So you have access, when you join our team, to thousands of hours of education, and I mean free education. People pay a boatload of money for a college education. Guys, a boatload of money. Books are expensive. They're not cheap. We have access to thousands of hours of education at our fingertips for free because there are so many people like me who want to empower you with tools, okay, to live a life above the wellness line, because we want to change the generation of tomorrow. We want tomorrow to be better than today for our children. I'm not just doing this for me, for my life today so I can feel good. We're doing this for our babies. We're doing this for the future, right? We're doing this for later. And it's so, so important. It's a generation changer. Start today because you're worth it. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching this and taking the time and investing in you. Have a great day.